Fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. Today I am happy to talk to Team Babola about the new Pure Drive 2025. It's the 11th generation of this iconic racket. I am joined by Olivier Callier, Group Marketing Manager for Tennis Rackets, and Maxime Oleyenechuk, maybe badly pronounced, Product Line Manager for Tennis Rackets for Babolat. But first of all, how are you guys?
Very good, thank
Very
you, Jonas. So very excited to share information on the new Pure Drive and the Pure Drive pillar. So very excited to join the call with you and do this podcast.
It's a pleasure to discuss and to share with you some information and to exchange with you about the new Pure Drive. So we are very excited.
So if we start like going down memory lane, like this is the 11th generation, why is this racket so popular and so iconic?
So the Pure Drive was launched in 1994, and at this period, most of the players used the square beam racket. It was a revolution, what we say a game changer, as it broke conventions for the Pure Drive, broke conventions for its versatility and natural power. And we had some players starting using it on the tour. Players like Carlos Moya, and those players got the power from the frame and not from the string, because we know at this period we had a lot of players using with natural guts, getting the power from the string and the control from the racket. So that's why I say it was a game changer, as the power at this period started coming from the racket, and a player like Carlos started playing with polyester strings and got the control from the strings. So it became famous in 1998 when Carlos Moya won the French Open, and then it was the starting point. And during early 2000s, the Pure Drive became the most popular racket, bestseller in the world, and it contributed to establish Babola as a disruptive brand and a leader worldwide in the tennis market.
Do you have any personal favorites? Like, if you're going back in the Pure Drive history, I have a few different ones that I like remember fondly. Do you guys have anything that is like, okay, I remember this one was my favorite Pure Drive from the past?
Yes. So I selected two rackets. I picked this one. This one for me is so this is the second generation. This is the Pure Drive we launched in 1997. For me, this one is really important in the history of this franchise, as so Carlos Moya became number one in the world in 1998, won the French Open. And it was for us, as I said, a very starting point, the beginning of the success in the racket story for us. We had for the first time ever a player winning a Grand Slam and being number one with a racket and Babola string. So it was very strong for us. So this racket for me is as something special. The second one I could select too. It's so the fourth generation. So this one was launched in 2002. As I said, early 2000s, so Babola became very famous, especially the Pure Drive was really, really successful for us. And in 2003, we had Andy Roddick, Kim Clijsters, that became number one in the world. So the one in the WTA player, number one in the world for ATP, with that racket. And so it was another step, another level, and it made a great success for us for this racket and the Babola brand.
For me, it's more personal, I think, because the first one is the Pure Drive 2012. It was this one. I think this one is very special for me because it was my first racket when I started playing tennis. So, and in terms of just cosmetic design, this one is very beautiful. It's a black frame with white double lines and many details with blue foil. So I think for me, this one is the most beautiful racket in the range. And the second one is special for me as well. It's the Pure Drive 30 years anniversary. It's a unique racket to celebrate 30 years of rackets, 30 years of Pure Drive. And once again, about the cosmetic design, each racket is unique. So in terms of, we have a special paint process. And yeah, just about the cosmetic, this one is very special. And yeah, so 2 rackets for me. The first one, the Pure Drive 2012, and the other one is this one, the Pure Drive Anniversary. The next one is for me the best one, the Pure Drive 2025. But we will talk later about the next one.
Yeah, the good choices, guys. I agree with them in a way. Like I'm a big fan of the 1997 as well, and that's an icon in the game, of course, and it started the journey. I was a big Moya fan when I grew up and played tennis, so for me that's kind of strong, you know, as a memory thing. But then you go through the different generations. I know my friend Henrik, who also reviews rackets, he's a 2012 favorite. Like he loves the one, like the black one. I know many pros still love that one, so it's they were very good. But like, what makes kind of a Pure Drive a Pure Drive?
The success of the racket and what makes a Pure Drive, it's a versatile racket. So the first benefits, it's a racket that could be played by a very large scope of players. Thanks to the versatility, the specifications that make the racket very easy to play with. It's a very maneuverable racket. The head size provides a good forgiveness and a kind of natural power, which is very easy to play and to use. So for me, the specificity of the Pure Drive as well, and we talked about Carlos Moya, some other pro players that used that racket in the past, but that versatility makes the rackets used by top 10 players and as well amateur players or club players. And so for me, this is what I would say makes the success of the racket, what makes that product very specific, iconic, very important for us. Maxime said, so with the anniversary, we celebrated 30 years of of life with these iconic products. And then what makes a Pure Drive, I would say the blue color. We managed to to install and express the power at Babola with that blue colors that we expressed with many shades during the life, I would say, of this racket. So the blue color as well is still a strong identity, links to a strong benefit of power, natural power. And we established this racket as well with that blue color.
Yeah, it makes it like also you kind of led the industry, because now many other manufacturers, they do blue for power. Like it's also like we were also doing something to be a competitor to the Pure Drive. So it's kind of like that blue iconic, easy power, easy playability. What's new then for 2025 in the new Pure Drive?
So what's new about the new Pure Drive? We have two main concepts. The first one is an evolutive power in the range. So when we are developing a new racket, a new development, at the beginning we want to know what we could improve about the playability, about I don't know. And as Olivier said, the Pure Drive is the most popular racket in the world, from the club player to pro player. So most of time, the main feedback is please don't change the playability. So the idea was to create an evolutive power in the range. So if we want to have the best level of power, the idea is to have a level of power adapted to everyone. So the first point is, and the starting point is, for the Pure Drive 300 grams, for example, if we want to change the level of power, we can change some features like the head size, like the string pattern, and the plastic part, for example. So the starting point was, for the 300 grams racket, we didn't change the playability. We didn't change the level of power of the racket. But for lighter models, we change one plastic part to increase the level of power, to help players using lighter models. So we change, it's very, just this plastic part, for example, so in the yoke. So we change this plastic part to increase the length of the main string. Like that, we increase the trampoline effect and we increase the level of power. So it's a way to help players using lighter models, because this kind of player sometimes need more power. So we have the starting point was the 300 grams. We increase a little bit more the level of power for lighter models. And at the opposite of that, we have the PureDrive 98. And for this kind of player using this racket, it's more for puncher, more for aggressive player. So the idea is more to have an optimized level of power. So this is the reason why we change the string pattern. We have a new string pattern for the 98, 16 by 20, and we have a new shape here on the frame to increase the level of stability and to have more precision. So the first point is we have an adapted power, an adapted level of power to everyone. So it's the first point, and the main innovation, the main benefit of the new PureDrive. The second point, in terms of novelty, the second point is about feel. It's more and more important for us to have a great feel at impact, a great communication between the frame and the hand. So we put some natural fibers in the frame to increase the feel at impact. So we have two main concepts. The first one is an evolutive power in the range, and the second one is we have a great feel at impact, and it was very important for us to have this feel. One more detail. We have the same string pattern between the PureDrive 300 grams and lighter models. So if some players want to customize the level of power, they can change. For example, they can put this one on the PureDrive 700 grams, for example, and it's a way to customize the level of power for each consumer target. So yeah, it's one more time. It's a way to have the best level of power for each consumer target.
So what's your process been like? It from 2021 you had the previous generation, the 10th generation. Now it's been around 4 years until the launch of this one. What's been the process, and how important is like customer feedback and player feedback in your process of developing a new one?
Just to give you the global picture of each process, we when we are developing a new racket, we have 2 years. The first year is more about development with the R&D and about the cosmetic design. And the second year is more about industrialization, mass production, and more topics around supply chain. During the first year, we work with the R&D and with Olivier, and according to the global tennis strategy of Babola, we work on a brief. And in this brief, we need feedbacks from consumer, for pro players, for coaches, for markets to know what we could improve, and if we want to change something in the range about the playability, if we need a new model, for example, we need many feedbacks. And yes, consumer is always at the center of each new development, and we use feedbacks from consumer and tennis players to create a new racket.
Maybe you can answer this, Olivier. Like, is the longer process, like 4 years instead of some brands doing 2 or 3 years? Is that something you want to keep doing? Like, you like a longer process, or would you want to speed it up? Like, what's your opinion about the length of the new generation coming out?
Yes, it's a good question. So we indeed we have a slightly longer life cycles that some other brands. So actually, we tried and we still try to make it simple for the consumers. And so as you know, we have 3 pillars at Babola. One pillar, it's blue color, is for power, yellow it's for aero and spin, and white and red it's for control oriented rackets. And so it's based on studies, we found out that it was in average matching the life cycle of I would say committed intensive players that renew their rackets in average every 3 years. So we said okay, we have 3 pillars, and we match with the renewal, the renewal process of intensive players. So we try to make it simple. And so, as Maxime said, then we have some internal process that to work on a project like this, and to when we renew a pillar, so it demands a certain time. So we have this way of working. It works well today, but we are open. I think we'll see in the future how it could evolve. We know that trends, consumer trends and player trends could be different, and evolve. So we are not really stick to that, but we know that it's part of the recipe that make the success as well of the brand, and to have a concise range, strong product, and very easy to explain. So we'll see, but we are open. We'll see in the future. Maybe we could adapt. We could work maybe differently, but for the moment it works well, and so we keep with that.
Yeah, keeping it simple, I think, from my own personal point of view, is good for the consumer and the players, because they understand, okay, the strike, I need more control. The drive, I want maximum like through power.
Yeah.
And then the arrow, I'm getting a little bit more lift, a bit more spin on the ball, right? So makes a lot of sense. But if we look at the different new Pure Drive 2025 models, from the 98 to the 100 and maybe lighter models, what kind of player are they for? Like, what would be the level maybe, or what would be the style of player that would really suit a Pure Drive?
Maybe we can start with the Pure Drive 98. This racket, and the new one especially, is very special, with a new frame, a new string pattern, and this one is very dedicated to intensive player looking for precision, kind of control. We can talk about like a puncher, an aggressive designer, yes. So this one is very special, and honestly, the new playability of this one is very great. And many guys in the company now use this one. So yeah, the Pure Drive 98 is very special for intensive player and an aggressive designer. The regular one, the Pure Drive 300 grams, it's more for player looking for power, versatility. We have a great playability, and it's for player, yes, looking for versatility first, and a powerful racket. After, we have lighter models like the Pure Drive Team and the Pure Drive Lite. It's more for player looking for power and a powerful racket, and more maneuverability. The last one in the range, in the adult range, we have the Pure Drive Super Light here on the wall. The Pure Drive Super Light, it's very special for juniors in transition to adult racket. So from the Pure Drive Junior 26 to the first adult racket. So this one is very interesting. I think we are the only one on the market with this kind of racket in our range. So it's very important for us to have the best answer, the best offer for each tennis player, and the Super Light is very special for juniors, and it's a good first adult racket. So
it's players aged between 10 and 12. So that range of age, and as Maxime said, it's really important. We know at that age, some people can grow a lot during the year. It's a way to have a very smooth transition from the junior model to the first adult racket, because of the specificities.
Will you have like longer models coming up, like the Plus line?
Yeah, the Plus is still in the range. I think the Pure Drive Plus is more for players with a huge serve, for example, and a big forehand, and it's a way to have an extra power when you are playing. So yeah, we have the Plus in the range. Yeah.
We have also oversized racket.
Yes.
The Pure Drive 107. So pretty light and very maneuverable. Very dedicated to we could say double players. It's very easy to volley. It's very easy to play from the baseline too, and serve. So yes, that racket is more specifically I would say, designed for double players. And then, as Maxime said, as you noticed, we worked specifically on the Pure Drive 98, having in the shoulder of the racket a square beam, here to increase the stability. And based on the consumer's analysis, we identified that some players using control-oriented rackets expected something more. And sometimes, okay, you play rallies, you keep the ball in the court, you get the control you want, but when it's time to play winners, you need something special. So you need the pop. And we managed to work on these rackets to provide this little extra for yes, I would say a category of players that potentially could play with a control-oriented frame and could switch to this one to get this extra pop. So it was something that we identified and we validated, we approved during the different playtests in the development, and it was something very interesting to notice.
Yeah, I really like the new 98 with the extra cross string, like the 1620 makes it a lot more controlled. And the NF2 tech, the flax fibers, like I really feel like they add like a nice sensation when you hit the ball. Like it's a bit softer on the arm and it feels like nicer on impact.
Yeah. Thanks to the flax fibers, we have a great feel at impact, and we have a special sound at impact as well. And this is the DNA of the Pure Drive. We have a pop sound. Sometimes we say a richer and louder sound at impact, and this is the DNA of the Pure Drive. And thanks to natural flax fibers, we have a great feel and great sound.
When it shows like the colorway, like it's slightly lighter blue, a little bit more towards the 2018 generation, but a little bit more modern, like and also kind of like a 80s style in a way. It's pretty funky design. Like, how did you work on the cosmetic?
So we work and so during the first year of the development, the R&D works on different prototypes, and on our side we work with a designer, and each new cosmetic design needs to tell a new story. So blue, it's a strength of the pillar. This is the iconic color of the pillar. But for each new development, we want to tell a new story. As Olivier said, we have this racket is well perceived by club players to pro players. So we need to have a cosmetic design, maybe consensual for all players, for men and women, for example. So we worked on a specific paint, a metallic blue, to bring a spirit of power, a spirit of competition, and a competitive spirit on the racket. So this is the reason why we have a beautiful racket, a beautiful metallic blue, and in the heart here we have some red foil to bring a true spirit of power, because we have a powerful racket. So with a designer, we work on different cosmetic options. We have around between 3 or 5 cosmetic run with many options, and at the end we have 1 or 2 options. And as we said, the final consumer is very is at the center of each new development. So to validate the cosmetic design and the playability, but to validate the cosmetic design, we are with the final consumer to have their feedbacks about the cosmetic design in different countries, like in US, in Europe, in Japan. So, and at the end, I think we have for this one, for the new one, the racket is tested and approved, playability and the cosmetic design, by the largest panel we have had at Babola. It was around 300 players, including consumer and our expert panel. So this is the reason why I think the new one is very great, and it will be a success for us.
We hope. We are pretty excited. And another good sign as well is during the season we have some opportunities to share the racket and the cosmetic design with pro players, especially during shooting. and pro players when they saw the racket were very excited about it. We know that it's an important tool for them, and it's the extension of the arm, and yes, every time when we present the first we say cosmetic options, and when we present, then we select the final one, and then we share with as Maxime said, a large panel of players and including pro players. And then when we got large consensus on this cosmetic, and so we hope that everybody will like it as well, and as it's a modern one, it's a modern blue, trendy one, and so we'll see in a few months. We hope it's gonna be successful.
Yeah, by the reception from like my social media posts, like Instagram and Reels and TikTok and whatnot, on YouTube, people love the new design. Like I usually get really strong feedback on especially designs, because that's when you start. People haven't tried it yet, it's not out yet, so there's no reviews. But the cosmetic has been positive. You know, I will notice straight away when people don't like it. But this one was a winner so far, so this is a good sign, I think, for you guys, because people really care about cosmetics. Some people won't play a racket even if it's a very good racket, because it looks not to their liking, you know. So it's a dangerous topic for racket manufacturers.
Yeah, we know it's the cosmetic design has a huge influence of the perception of the product, and this is the reason why during the development, for the R&D parts, they try the racket, and it was black racket, because we don't want to influence the perception, the final perception about the playability with the cosmetic design. So we have black racket for the playability, and after we put the cosmetic design to have the final feedback from consumer.
Yeah, exactly. You have to start blacked out, otherwise you have stuff in your head, you know, like how you perceive everything. You get colored a bit. So who's gonna play with these rackets on tour? Like, who will be the main ambassadors going into 2025? You have some exciting young players, especially, I know. So who's the team?
Yes, we have a very good lineup of players. So using the Pure Drive. So some people I would say broke through the top 100, top 50 ATP ranking last year. So we think about Giovanni Mpecci, Pericard, which is a French guy coming from Lyon. So which for us it's very
it's great,
very important, very good as a guy from Lyon. That's a French guy that serve so fast. I would say that during Wimbledon, so he played, and so we checked the average second serve speed. It was amazing. So Giovanni is a good one that is coming fast, rising fast. So we are pretty excited to have Giovanni in the team. Then we have some others. Jerry Cheng. From China, he's around 50 ATP. He plays with the 98, Pure Drive 98, since he was young. So it's a very good player in the team. We have another French guy, Arthur Cazot, that played pretty well in this season. So we'll endorse the racket in January, and then some others. Jordan Thompson from Australia, ATP 26. Fabio Fognini, of course, still there. Fabio is a strong ambassador for, I would say, Babola and the Pure Drive, of course. Fabio is top 100, so she played Australia. And then we have Sofia Kenin from the US. She won Grand Slams at the US Open with the Pure Drive. And then we have some players from Japan, Taro Daniel, Watanuki. We have some other players. Clara Burel from France as well. We have a pretty good lineup and a bunch of players in the top 100 ATP and WTA. So,
yeah, you have some great ambassadors, especially exciting with Mpecci, for example, playing like the Pure Drive game. Like he plays aggressive big serve and hits hard from both wings. Nice one-handed backhand. Like it's a great ambassador for, and also coming from Lyon. Like it's probably it's amazing, you know. And you're turning 150 years next year. That's pretty exciting. So what do you have planned from like Babola now with the new Pure Drive? You have a new anniversary. It's a big deal.
Yes, you're right. It's next year is going to be very very special. So we have the intention to rock the court. As you know, the Babola brand is a brand that transmits, I would say, passion and love for the game. So we want to take advantage of this very special year next year to communicate largely on the brand and what we've done. So for I would say for the moment we don't have a lot of information on this. So we're going to have, of course, a big convention. So I would say it should be the first quarter, and then we're going to have all year long some actions to communicate, to share with tennis players, with I would say all what we say tennis lovers, the passion we have for racket sports, for tennis, through product stories, through with players, through the different events we have in partnership, and through specific actions during the year. So yeah, stay tuned. At this stage, we cannot reveal anything, but yeah, we're gonna rock the court, and yes, it's gonna be a very very exciting year.
When it comes to accessories and also maybe strings that are suited for the Pure Drive, like you're gonna have like new beautiful blue bags that I actually have in the background here, but that's the plan, like a backpack, and how important is like the bag like connected to the racket? Like many players want both the bag and the racket when they purchase stuff, right?
I think it's this is the strength of Babola. Each time we launch a new racket, we have a full pack with bags, tennis accessories, strings, shoe as well. So we have beautiful bags, beautiful dark blue and metallic blue here. We have a RH12, RH6, and the backpack as well. It's very great with a huge backpack, and yeah, I think this is a strength of Babola to create a great collection like Pure Aero, like Pure Strike, and Pure Drive. And this year, into 2025, we will have a great collection with bags. We have as well the shoe. We have a SFX4. SFX4 it's more for players looking for comfort, with a huge cushioning here. So, and once again with in blue colors and totally linked with a pillar, and we have strings as well. We will launch a new color, especially linked with a Pure Drive. And Olivier, if you
Yes, on strings we have a new color for. I'm gonna have a new color for XL coming during the summer. So XL is well known for easy power and comfort, and then of course we are going to celebrate the 150th anniversary. We started with natural gut, so it makes sense for some rackets like Pure Labo 7, for example. So certain players that expect great feel, great comfort, easy power, great playability. So the VS Gut is still very very famous. So Babola invented the first tennis ring 150 years ago. So of course, natural gut next year will be very special. We're gonna focus on that string too, and yes, and there's some red colors as it reflects some outlines on the racket. So yeah, for the final look of the rackets, so it's that red color is well perceived too. So XL strings, new color, VS Gut, and then for intensive players that break more, we will have, of course, the RPM Blast or RPM Team. So the RPM Blast can bring the control you need when you have a powerful racket, and then the RPM Team is a slightly softer polyester, provide a little bit more easy power and contact with the ball.
Yeah, exactly. If you want a softer feel, you can play with XL or you play with a softer string. And if you are a competitive player that needs polyester strings, like the RPM Blast or RPM T-Bar, like obvious choices, I guess. And you usually have slightly different colors also for the strings if you want, like to mix it up a little bit, depends on the player.
Exactly.
But now I have a question also about you guys. Like, so your tennis background and what's your current racket of choice would be interesting to know.
Good question. So I'm more a control-oriented player. So personally, I use the Pure Strike 98, 1619. And I play with hybrid strings, putting in mains RP Hurricane in white, and of crosses Natural Guts or Excel. So I like this combination. I still have a single hand backhand. So Pure Strike players for me.
For me, a Pure Drive player. So as the opposite of Olivier, I think I don't have maybe the technique or the tennis style, or I don't have the body to generate power. So I need a racket to help me. So I am a Pure Driver. I play with a Pure Drive 300 grams because I need more power on court. And I'm very confident on court thanks to the Pure Drive. And about strings, I play with an hybrid like Olivier with Natural Gut in mains for me, and RPM Team or RPM Blast in crosses.
Yeah, that's a great advice to I think a lot of like club players or even advanced club players, like adding that gut or the Excel or like a softer string in either mains or crosses really helps like to get a bit more feel and a bit softer feel and more power. So a lot of players just go like polyester and they string really high tension, like 26, 27 kilos. But it's better to consider either dropping the tension or adding maybe like a Natural Gut is amazing feel. Like it's one of the best feeling you can get, right, to play. But also like a multifilament will add more to your string bed. So
yes, it's a very good point. So from the laboratory test, we got from the string. So we know that mains have an impact on the durability and the spin and the ball rotation with the snapback effect, the return of the main strings. And then on crosses, it's more feel, comfort. So that's why most of the time when we mix some strings, we use polyester strings for mains, usually for when you are intensive players, and then you put a softer string on crosses. Then we had some other options for. So I know that some players use the other way. So sometimes the guts on mains and the polyester on crosses, but it was, I would say, more for players that play with a very small head size. I could say 98, 97, sometimes 95. But sometimes you mixed and you use some flexible strings in mains. But most of the time, durability and spin for mains, and feel, sensation, comfort with flexible strings on crosses. It's a very good point, Jonas. Yeah, it's a way to customize the racket. The string is very important. We used to say, we say that 50% from the performance comes from the frame and 50% from the string. So it's the choice of the string. It's really important.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree. And people should not give up on the racket before they test a few different string options or like different tensions so they can experiment. And you can even add some weight if you want to, but like not
exactly.
It's better to try to see that the string needs replacing, because a few players, like a lot of rec players, they don't change strings often enough. You need to sometimes replace your strings to get like a new racket experience.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
All right, guys, this was great. I'm really happy to have you on, and really appreciate you taking your time. I know you're busy guys, especially now before Christmas and stuff like that. Do you have any plans for 2025 yourself? You're gonna play some tournaments? You're gonna go for some exciting travel? Are you going to Australian Open? So what's happening next year?
From my side, Australian Open, I would like, but it's a time in the year that we start presenting some products, we say internally. So we have a busy start in January. So the plan is to travel in different countries as we do. We travel in different countries to feel, I would say, the field. It's very important to visit and be in contact with consumers, with players, with our I would say our Salesforce team. So we travel in some countries. So we could go to the US. Maybe for Indian Wells, maybe just before, I will see. And then we have some convention. So next year is going to be very special. And then potentially Wimbledon Wimbledon, it's as you know, this is a tournament we have in partnership. We are official stringer there. We provide the shoes as well for the tournament for ball boys, and so Wimbledon is a key moment of the year, of course. And then Roland Garros for us, it's not that far, so it's 2 hours by train. So yeah, I would say visit some countries, and then French Open, Wimbledon, and yes, it's going to be my plan for next year. And of course, you're right. Play some tournaments. I play with some matches in my club. We are a team, so I will play a few matches next year. I don't play that much. I played a lot before, but don't play that much now. But I still play some matches, and I try to practice every week. That's it's important to to still hit the ball. Yeah.
And for me, I think it's more linked maybe with the new development. So I will travel in different, maybe like Olivier, in different countries to organize some playtests and to have some feedbacks for the new racket. So yes, maybe it's more about playtest in countries like US, Europe, or Japan. We will see with the R&D guys and the Perf Lab. So we will see, and yeah, I have a tournament at the end of January, so I need to practice during holidays, and we will see.
Ale. Yeah, it's good. It's good to. I think it's very important when you work in tennis to keep playing and keep partly traveling, as you said, like to actually meet and see what's happening in this market. What are like the new ideas here? Like how are players evolving? How is the game evolving? But also to play for yourself, I think is quite important because you keep that love for the game. You know.
Yes, it's key. It's key for us to try racket, to try in prototypes as well, and even to play with some racket from competitors, just to compare our racket and competition. So yes, it's key. It's key for us to stay linked with the product and yeah, to practice. Yeah.
As we say, we live for this. We live for racket sports. We live for tennis, and so yes, it's a passion for us, for both of us, and for most of the people. I would say that work at Babola. So yes, it's important, especially for us, that to test. We test ourselves products with our R&D team. So yeah, tennis is an important part of our life.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Now, it's been great talking to you guys. Thanks to you very much for your time again, and I hope to meet you in person at some point, maybe in Lyon
Yes.
or maybe in Indian Wells. Who knows? But it will be fun for sure. And tennis is a beautiful community, and you seem to have a great team over there at Babola. So I wish you all the best. I'm gonna play with my Aero 98 for this year. We'll see if I switch to Drive 98, but I'll keep testing.
We should try.
Yeah, I'm testing it all the time, but yeah, the Aero is addictive as well, so it's tough.
Yes, thank you, Jonas. It was very great. Thank you for the invitation. It was great sharing this with you. And yes, hopefully next year we're going to meet soon in person. And it's going to be a pleasure even to eat some balls together.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. It was a very pleasure, and it was very great to exchange with you and just to show you our work and just to share with you more information about the development, about each step of the new Pure Drive. And yeah, I hope we will meet you the next year.
Merci.
Thank you, Jonas.
Thank you, Jonas. Bye.
Have a good day.